When I was new to sales, I used to spend a lot of effort in prospecting, following up, making that great connection, and really putting a whole lot of my energy into the product presentation because I truly used to think that the greater the product, the better it's going to sell. It was after many years of failure that I realized that the way that the human brain thinks about purchasing anything has nothing to do with the product. So today, if you are a new salesperson, or even if you're a seasoned salesperson who's unable to keep their technique performing in the new age, then I'd like to share with you the three simple questions that you need to be asking during the sales call that will instantly boost your sales conversion all the way up to 25 to 40% closes, assuming you're sitting with some basic qualified prospects or higher. My name is Dr. Rajat Sinha. I'm a medical doctor turned sales coach. And in my very early years in selling health products, which are actually inside my core capability as a medical doctor, I actually faced lots and lots of failures. And then I realized that the sales process has nothing to do with the actual product. Almost any product will sell very well, assuming that you have a basic understanding of the prospect. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the three basic qualifying questions that you need to be asking prospects at all times, even when you're having that conversation about the actual product, or they may have asked you over, or they may have agreed for a meeting in return for a particular problem, pain, or something that they're having, and they want to know about the exact product that you supply, or the exact product or service that you're going to bring them. That's totally fine, but your brain should be anchored to these three questions because these are the real buying questions that a prospect doesn't even know that they have in their mind. And once you're able to bring their awareness to these three questions, then the game is going to really open up for you. Let's get started. I have my list over here. Three questions to instantly boost your sales. And the very first question is the budget question. The budget question: how much does the prospect have to spend on this problem? A lot of prospects, basically, they are treating your sales call as their as entertainment, because any new information is basically like entertainment for any prospect. So just like we go to YouTube and we do lots of browsing, Instagramming, etc., etc. Similarly, prospects also go to sales meetings and meet people because they want to know information just for their general knowledge, and deep in their mind they think that, hey, if I find the right information, I'm going to take action or do something about it. But the fact of the matter is that getting them to take action is a step by step process that you have to take charge of. So how do you turn your information from entertainment to actionable information? Is you got to get honed down on the budget aspect. Do they have a signed budget for this problem? Now, usually when you ask a budget question, hey man, what kind of budget do you have for this problem? Prospects will usually say, oh, I have a budget. First, tell me about how the product works, or tell me what the solution is. Budget is no problem. They usually say those things. But how do you know that they are not lying? Or they may actually have money in their bank account, but when you tell them a particular product, they're going to say, okay, let me think about it. That's because they have money, but they don't have budget. See, there's a big difference between money and budget. How do you know that they have budget? Is indirectly. Usually when prospects come to you with a problem, health problem, make money problem, they have already done other things before they met you. They have already done other things before they met you. So the question you need to be asking is, how have you been doing it so far? What other steps have you taken in this direction before you came to meet me, or when you first realized that you have this problem? Okay, and if you have been taking some steps for the particular problem you have, how much did it cost? See, a lot of people will come to you with health challenges or something. What have you done in the past? Oh, I hired a dietitian, I went to a gym, whatever it is. You need to understand, or you need to find out how much money they spent in the gym, how much they paid to the dietitian, or that they had a dietitian in their family. Then how much money did they spend shopping for those healthy products that are going to improve their diet, or whatever it is. Okay. Same with make money, save money, any kind of investment products, whatever. Okay. How much did it cost? Next thing is, inclusive of your time invested, how much did it really cost? Okay, a lot of people say, okay, my parents have diabetes, so I'm listening to you because I want to solve their problem. If a child is solving the problem of the parents, or if they may be fully grown up people, they may be 40, 50 years old, they may have kids of their own, and they're trying to find the solution to their parents' diabetes problems. The wound is not deep enough. They're not feeling that pain themselves. It's just the parents that are feeling the pain. So you want to figure out how much is the actual cost of the problem. Hey, my parents go for this doctor, and this doctor meets them every week, and they pump them with some insulin, and then week after week is the same thing. Perfect. How long has this been going on? Well, it's been going on for 4 years. Great. How many trips to the doctor does that mean? That means roughly 200 trips to the doctor, inclusive of your time, because you're the one who's taking your parents to the doctor. Your time is getting invested for those 200 visits. How many hours have you invested? Perfect. So inclusive of your time and the fees of the doctor, how much is the total cost that you invested? Okay, you want to bring it down to a number as large as possible, because assuming that you have a solution for their problem, you're going to be telling them, I want to save you, or I want to make you back this lakhs of rupees that you've been spending on this problem. Okay, most people don't realize that if they're very serious, they are actually spending lakhs of rupees on this problem. Okay, if you're selling make money or save money or invest money kind of products, you should be like, okay, assuming that you had spent this amount of money, you could have made this kind of money by this time, so how much money have you lost? Okay, how much is the budget? Well, where else are you spending the money that you would like to take away and actually get started with your investment journey? So you broadly need to understand, where is the money going to come from? Either the money is going to be allocated from some other spend, or the money is going to be allocated that they have been spending with some other supplier or some other modality in the same problem. Okay, money doesn't land from the bank account directly inside a problem, because money in the bank account is not budget. So when you ask budgetary questions, you got to figure out where the money is going to come from. If they stop that gym, will you be able to give them the weight loss? So then that gym money belongs to you. Okay, that's how budget works. It works from modality to modality, doesn't come from the bank account into your problem. All right, very important. Budget, that's the first question. What is the next one? The next one is authority. Very, very important, especially in India. What did your spouse have to say about that? These are the questions. So I'm giving you the actual category, and then I'm giving you the exact question that you have to ask, that I also ask in my sales calls. What did your spouse have to say about that? So somebody will say, okay, I tried to do weight loss and then I joined this gym. Okay, perfect. How much did the gym cost? Well, gym cost 2,000 rupees per month, but they gave me an annual fee discount or something, and I paid them only 15,000 rupees. Perfect. You paid 15,000 rupees. You still don't have the weight loss. What did your spouse have to say about that? You always gonna ask this question, because you should know that the biggest resistance to buying from you is going to come from the fear of listening to some nagging from their spouse. Okay, this is the biggest fear. The biggest fear is not that you will take my money and run away. The biggest fear is not that I'll pay you money and I won't follow through with it. The biggest fear is I'll pay you the money and my spouse is gonna nag me for it. Okay, so what did your spouse have to say about that? You want to understand how decisions are taken in this family or inside a business. So if there are co-founders or something like that, you want to ask them, what did your co-founder have to say about it? Okay, next question is, whom do you usually rely on 100% before you take those decisions? Another way of wording that question is, who knows you 100% that they can tell if something will work for you or not? Okay, very important way of wording the question. If you ask people, hey man, what authority do you have to spend the money? They'll say, oh, I have the authority, I can spend the money. And then when you go through the whole sales call, they'll say, okay, let me ask my spouse, my co-founder, or whatever it is. Okay, so the question is, whom do you usually rely on 100% to take those decisions? Okay, or who knows you 100% that they can tell if something will work for you or not? Okay, something will work for you or not. Very, very important. Okay, so that's the way you ask authority questions. That's the second best, that's the second number question that's going to help you instantly boost your sales. And the fact that you're asking them during the sales call tells the person at a subconscious level that you're a master at what you do, and you are bringing their awareness to actual decision taking questions. Because when you're talking about your product, regardless how great the product is, that doesn't help them to take a decision. Okay, so that's the question. Number 3, let's go to number 3, urgency. This is the number one thing that you need to have. If the prospect doesn't think that it is urgent enough, of course they will say it is urgent enough. Yeah, I'm ready to get started today. But if you don't ask these questions during the sales call, then you're going to lose the sale. You're going to lose a lot of sales, because they're going to say, okay, let me think about it, because suddenly we have Shraddh coming up, we have Diwali coming up, we have Christmas coming up, my daughter's wedding is coming up, I'm going to decide after that. All right, very important. Okay, urgency. How do you ask these questions? Assuming you found the right solution, when would you like to get started? Or you can ask, what are you looking for? So when you ask them in the beginning, what are you looking for on the sales call, you're going to say, assuming you could get that, what happens next? Okay, assuming you could get that, they will say, hey man, what is the reason that you're here in to meet me? And they'll say, well, I want to make more money, or I want to save more money, or something like that. And then you say, great, I'm going to help you find out ways in which you can make money or save money or whatever it is. But once I tell you what are those ways or how we can help you, what happens next? Okay, you're forcing them to go inside and think, like, assuming I had found the solution, what would happen next, what would be my next step? And then they'll say, well, I want to get started. Okay, when would you like to get started? Great. And if I give you the solution, we will need some time from you, so when do you think you can allot that time, or something like that? Okay, so you're already preceding in their mind what happens after you give them the solution. Otherwise they haven't thought about it, and at the end of the call they're going to tell you, I need to think about it, right? So you're making them think while on the sales call. Next, if I were to ask you for this is a pre-close question, so assuming that you have given them you understood what their problem is, etc., etc., and now what you're going to be doing is that you're going to go in for the close. You're going to say, if I were to ask you for 30 minutes of your time one-on-one on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday each, which slot would that be? Okay, if I were to ask you for 30 minutes of your time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 30 minutes each on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which 3 slots would that be? Because see, what's going to happen is when you tell them, hey, this is going to be the routine, I'm going to get together with you, we're going to fix this is the amount of it's going to cost. They're going to say, well, actually this weekend I'm busy, so I can't sign up. Yeah. So you're going to clear the time angle before you go to the money angle. Okay. And the way to clear the time angle, urgency is all about time. Remember that. Okay. Urgency is all about time. If I were to ask you for 30 minutes of your time one-on-one on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday each, what slots would that be? Okay. So those are the 3 big questions. As you can see, I have another 4th bonus question as well. A bonus question, and this is a total killer. Once I open up this bonus question, you'll realize why all of the sales techniques and trainings that were being given to you were not working, because because this particular part is not being made clear to you whenever you took your sales training, or whenever your earlier mentors or whatever they gave you the sales training, because this is something little more of a new age thing. Okay, so the 4th question that you want to be asking, which is going to absolutely help you boost your sales, is question number 4, is mode of payment. Very important. Today we are living in an age where people pay through GPay, cash, credit card, debit card, EMI. They want to have different modes of payment. There are people who use GPay but they don't use credit cards, and there are people who use credit cards but not GPay, and there are people who pay through check and not through credit card, whatever it is. Okay, you want to be clear on what is the mode of payment they usually use in their life. So when you're asking them about their story, about how were they solving the problem till now, you want to say, okay, how did you make that payment? How did you make that payment? Okay, you went to that gym or you went to that doctor. How were they charge you cash or what is it? Okay, and then when you're asking them about their previous experience with their previous supplier or something, that is going to give you an idea of what are the modes of payment that they use. Okay, you can also ask them little more incisive questions. Oh, did you have that kind of money on you? You just told me that you paid annually for the gym one time. Do you carry 15,000 rupees in your pocket at all times? And they'll say, no, I use my credit card. So you know that they use their credit card for 15,000 rupees. Okay. I guess you can recover your leftover money, can't you? So this is another way of putting the same question, which is, hey man, you paid for this particular gym, but you used it only for 3 months and you didn't get the result. So I'm sure you can get the leftover money back. And they will say, no, I actually can't get the leftover money back because I paid through my debit card. It's already on my EMI or whatever it is, whatever they did. You will know in what form they pay. Or they can say, no, I didn't pay them because I only paid month on month, or I didn't pay them at all. My fees are pending or something like that. That gives you an idea of what kind of this person is, how do they make their purchase transactions, and what is the mode of payment that they like to have. So it gives you a faint idea. Of course, you're going to come all the way to the end. You're still going to lock in the mode of payment, but you should have some idea of how do these people actually do business. And this works a lot if you're doing B2B or any kind of make money kind of a thing, especially if you're into network marketing, financial planning, insurance, reselling, insurance team building or something like that. You'll find a lot of people who have money problems, but even people who have money problems need to have a mode of payment. Otherwise, they'll come to you and they'll waste your time, and they'll say, oh, I actually don't have money, or I don't have GPay, I don't have my debit card with me because it's my wife or something like that. Okay, so you need to clear all of these things. Real quick, I just want to go through the summary because these things are really going to help you. Budget, authority, urgency, and mode of payment, out of which The most important ones are going last to first. So mode of payment is the most important one, urgency is the second one, authority is the lesser important one, and budget is the last of the questions that you need to have. Why? Because all of these questions could be in the positive, but they don't have the mode of payment, you aren't going to get paid. If they don't have urgency, you aren't going to get paid. A lot of people waste their time, salespeople, they waste their time on the product, features, benefits, etc. And that is the least of the points. The question is, do they have the budget? Are they going to make the spending? Do they have the mode? And are they going to make that spend without their spouse present? These are the most important things that actually affect the transaction of getting the money from their pocket to your pocket. And the single definition of sales, my friend, is if you can get the money out of their pocket, yes or no. If you can't do that, then you're not a salesperson, you're an information giver. Okay, you're a person who gives information, and they don't get paid very well, and that's not a very highly paid skill at all. All right, so I wish to you that you become a deadly closer. And if you like this video and other videos that I'm making on actual tactical sales that nobody else bothers to teach you about because they don't know about it, then please give me a nice comment in the comments below, so that I know what are the parts about these videos that you like and what other videos I can make for you in the future. I look forward to seeing you on the other side in the next video. Bye bye.